He is still the same. Jack's going, what man wouldn't do that? Like, and still, justifying his abusive actions. You made your partner scared. I don't know. Even if you flipped a table at them and your kids, you're a cokehead.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Bravo. We're Black. And I have a guest who I have never had on before. And the way that I'm going to tell this story is classic chaotic style. But I just want to introduce you guys to Liza Treyger.
Hello. Thrilled to be here.
If you don't know Lisa off the top of your head, you should, because actually she just had a Netflix special. And I know that you saw it because they were promoting that whole. But I talked about Survival of the Thickest on the show. I think the first season a little bit, but more so the second season. But in between the first and the second season, me and Lisa got connected on social media somehow. And then I saw that you had like so many followers. I was like, oh, okay, you must be like an influencer. I know that you have your Law and Order SVU podcast. So I'm like, it must be because of the That's Messed Up pod. You're a really big podcaster. But that you're a full-blown star, mind you. So I'm just
I'm out here. I'm working in the arts. It's exciting.
And you take comedy very seriously, like Ariana did. And look at where she is. And she's literally like a 5-star bitch right now.
But I'm so happy for her.
Yeah, so she followed me once, and I followed her right back, and I'm like, damn, she has a lot of followers. I wonder what she
And I'm
does.
in the comments, and I'm responding to polls.
Yeah, listen, one of our best, social media friends. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then I saw, because I don't see everything that gets posted to the TL because I just follow so many people when I'm very nosy. But I would see you pop up, and obviously, I liked it. But then I would see you at, comedy shows. I'm like, oh, that influencer girl is finally, got a career. She's doing, comedy shows. And I'm like, well, oh, wait, she's a comedian. Okay, and then you go to the Survival of the Thickest Season 2 party, and I'm like, oh, she's a really good comedian. She must know Michelle Buteau. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I wonder if she actually watches the show or this is just an industry event for, comedians. So then I'm watching Season 2. The face comes up. And I'm like, I know that ain't who I think it is. So then I go back on Instagram, and I'm like, there's no way this entire time you've been Jade.
I'm Jade.
So I think it might have been in the middle of the night. It might not have been. I don't know. I was manic. But I know that nothing could stop me from being like, listen, I can't believe that's you.
I know.
Jay,
but that's good.
One of my favorite characters, obviously, yeah, there's obviously Michelle Buteau. Then obviously there's, and then there's, But then you are pretty far up there because especially Season 1, you made me laugh so hard. Even Season 2, you didn't have as many episodes, but your impact was felt. And I'm like, oh my God, I know someone who knows Michelle Buteau.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm lucky. I met Michelle Buteau in 2010 in Chicago, and I was obsessed with her then. So then I think this character Jade was supposed to be gone 4th episode. She was supposed to be out of her mind, cause trouble, and be kicked out based on someone Michelle didn't like. But I think because I'm so obsessed with Michelle that it came through, and I kept holding on. So I'm excited.
You just keep people around. I mean, and it was a good decision because you just had these hilarious one-liners, and it was just what the hell? And I'm just I love your performance in the show. I've watched your stand-up, your latest one on Netflix, where you literally get into Bravo, and not only that, you literally talk about Cynthia's bachelor party, and the way you described it the way that you just put it so plainly, it made me realize how numb Bravo fans are to probably the most insane things to happen. Because I'm like, yeah, And this was a COVID season at that. You guys, if you aren't sure about the bit that I'm speaking about, Lisa talks about when Cynthia Bailey has her bachelorette party in Kenya. Like, she literally took a private jet, made them go on the Sprinter van. She bought food for herself. Then she, like, caught a shark. And I'm just like, you know what? That just sounds like a regular episode of Housewives. But people in the audience are looking like, what the fuck?
A tame episode, not even the first, like, presumed or alleged threesome or sharing of partner, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
We just have, these women give us so much. They're so vulnerable with their lives. I mean, certain cities more than others. I would say Atlanta and New York really put it out there in a way, and Jersey, in a way that, like, Beverly Hills does not.
Oh, at all. At all.
There are a lot of secrets. They're not, they're like very calculated in what they show and don't show. And I feel like the Atlanta women, especially that COVID season, like they all they got on a scale and showed their like COVID weight gain. And they're all like beautiful women, but it was like no other franchise would do that.
At all.
No.
No.
No franchise would do that.
There's like a certain hilarity in that because remember, they were also the first to have before even COVID, Atlanta was the first to have the virtual reunions. And that's when Nene Leakes walked away. That's when we got the back and forth between Portia and Eva. And when she was like, yo, today is not social distancing. And it was just like, God, I love these women so much. And like, I'm so glad to have them back on the new season.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this season. Yeah, I have. I mean, some darkness, of course, but positive.
You know, no one's going to jail yet. So, I mean,
no. That's true. That's true.
Not this season,
it's true.
At least.
The, like, how Bravo decides what's fireable, what's not is never consistent. We'll say that, you know?
Insane. Especially their number one star. Like, you already don't have Nene, honey, so what are we doing with Kenya? What do you think about this new season, though? Obviously, you know, the whole Kenya thing, but just overall, like, just Britt and Angela and Shamia being a new housewife and just a season overall, like, how are you feeling about it?
I'm into it. I'm watching it. I mean, I love Shamia, and I'm so happy to finally have her in a full-time way. I think she's funny. I love that she's direct but not mean. Like, she's able to just really say what she feels but be... I don't know. I would just love to hang out with her in that house. I am a little upset. It seems like Portia's a hater, though. I'm kind of... the way she's treating Shamia of like, oh, I didn't know that was your voice. Like, the birthday party. I'm a little bit shocked, like, to see her in this hater energy towards such a good friend of hers. So that's been weird. But I love the Sometimes I get frustrated when the new housewives come on too strong to start conflict. But, you know, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Sometimes you gotta get it popping.
And with Drew, at first I was like Team Drew, where I was like, okay, and now I'm like, we are at his club right now. This is crazy. And now you're gonna come to this birthday. This is insanity.
And then the way that she just lies for no reason. And I'm just like, you did not have to. Like, does she do it because she knows that not only is the cast going to call her out, but the audience is going to call her out? Or does she do it because she can't help it? Does she do it just for attention? It's just like, you lie about the weirdest things. It's so...
What was her last lie? What did she lie about?
It was just, and it's always like, not anything serious. Like, the last lie was the Michael Jordan thing. Michael Jordan is my cousin. And then Angela's like, I can literally verify that because I'm Angela Oakley, wife of Charles Oakley, who just played. And then she's like, I talked to Marcus. He said that that's not true. And she's like, I know I was joking. And I'm like, true. Why? Yeah. But she can sing, and she's beautiful. Like, so...
And I feel bad for her. Like, Ralph, like, was a nightmare the moment I met him. And, of course, like, he was a nightmare to be married to. Of course, he's going to be a nightmare to divorce. And that he was celebrating that he's going to stay in the basement is, like, psycho stuff. And I feel bad that she has to be connected to this man.
Exactly. But maybe she can just, like, sing her way away. That's the thing, though. When you have kids with a man, it's just like, girl, you might want to get the kids up.
Are you watching The Valley?
I decided to finally watch The Valley.
Okay, and
And
where are you at?
oh my God, we're gonna get into it. But first, we do on Wednesdays because it's the pop culture episode.
Oh,
Even though I
yes,
talk
sorry.
a little bit of Bravo. No, but we're gonna get into it. I have multiple things to talk with you. You allotted me some time, even though you literally have like a show tonight. So I really appreciate you coming and celebrating Earth Day with me. Shout out to Earth, I guess. So on Wednesdays, we have the Black Excellence Award, and it's just like a Black person who, in the last week or so, or even just in general, that you are feeling like celebrating, and they've done something like super dope, super cool, or just no particular reason. Every week we do the Black Excellence Award, and I will go first because I didn't tell you, I didn't prep you at all.
I already have someone.
Oh, you go first.
So it came to my head the moment you started explaining it, and I would say, hopefully I'm not a week too late, but T-Pain at Coachella was a celebratory moment.
Oh,
and I'm really happy for him, and he's someone that like enjoys the moments of his career and like has been able to have such longevity and still be able to experience new goals and new things. And I can't believe he wears so many layers. Like, I'd be so hot in the desert. But the spin moves, the videos, the good time everyone had. So I'm happy for him.
Oh my God, that is such a good one. Oh my, I've never been able to give T-Pain his flowers like specifically. So that's so true. And like, he was just so happy doing it. And the fact that he's having like a second wind with like the new generation as a streamer, when we know him as a person who basically invented auto-tune, when it's like, but he's only like, he's barely even 40, if he is 40. So it's like, you look at these people like Sierra, like these people are not even 40 or barely 40, and like they've just been around, and that just means that they started so young and made such an impact so young that it's insane. So yeah, shout out to T-Pain for that Coachella performance, but just for being T-Pain and introducing us in a different way to auto-tune and rhyming mansion with Wisconsin. So mine is going to be Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, because you guys, I just saw Sinners over the weekend, and when I say that movie ate down, I don't know if he's planning to turn this into a franchise, because there was a mid-credit scene and an end-credit scene. I don't know what he's planning to do with it in general. Haley Steinfeld, like I call her Hawkeye because she's the new Hawkeye. So Hawkeye was in it, and she was like the white woman who does not know how to mind her business. And like, it was hilarious. Well, it was hilarious the way that she did it. The movie wasn't hilarious. It was very serious, and I was very scared actually. But it was just so well written. It's so amazing. It's got so much like traction on social media, but even if it didn't, it would be one of those like sleeper hits where even if they didn't put on this amazing press tour where they got like matching gold teeth and they had all this amazing talent on it, it would still be a great movie. Have you had the chance to like check it out?
No, I've been hardcore on the road for 10 days and at a comedy festival partying, but
period.
I can't wait. I want to see it.
You got to see it. It's
I like
so
being
good.
scared, and I love great acting, so I'm pumped.
That's two amazing things. So shout out to Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, and T-Pain. And it was just such a good movie. Okay, so The Valley. At first, I already told y'all, I had Rachel Lindsay on here last week. I told y'all why I didn't want to watch it at first and why I was like against season 1, and we came to an understanding. So I'm fully caught up. I watched season 1. I'm watching season 2, episode 1. Like, I finished it. And then today, when we're filming this, season 2, episode 2 is supposed to air, I believe, later on today. These people...
I'm a Peacock girl. I always get things a day later, you know?
Most people are now. That's why I'm like, oh, okay, guys, I'm going to be on Threads watching, and I always announce that, like, hey, I'm going to watch this, I'm going to talk about it, so y'all don't cuss me out, and I still get cussed out anyway. But it is hate to say it, the haters were right. It was good. Like, it was such a shit show that, like, you can't stop watching it. It's not just Jax. It's not just Kristen. It's like they found a bunch of new horrible people and we're like, hey, let's put them on the show. And then I'm just like, yeah, well, you know what? Y'all snap with that. And I don't, even though I'm like a fan of the show for about 4 days now, I don't want Lala and Sheena on it at all. And like they're like already on the after show. Mind you, I'm coming from someone who's a Vanderpump stan. I like Sheena because she is, you know, finally having her era where she's getting her things because we wouldn't have Vanderpump Rules without Sheena, obviously.
I was about to say Sheena's energy is better, and Seth Rogen just did an interview like, who do you relate to most, and he said Sheena, and I loved his reasoning where it's like, she's kind of just like a lovable idiot. Like, I think Lala's evil, and so
Yeah.
I'm okay seeing Sheena flop around and make bad choices. She's just kind of a fool to me, like
Right.
a really beautiful, like, I want to hang out with Sheena. Lala to me is bad. Bad, bad, bad.
It took me a while to see it because I will say I used to like love Lala, especially when she first came on. And she was like, let's get it poppin', daddy. And she was like, yeah, I sucked it for a Rolls Royce. Like, she was just young and lit. And I'm like, oh,
She wishes it was a Rolls Royce. She wishes a Rolls Royce. A fucking Range Rover.
A Range Rover.
She wishes.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
I also liked when she took her tits out and everyone was like, my boyfriend's here. And I was like, yeah, take your tits out, bitch. But
I loved how she was just like making them mad, but then just finding out how she was behind the scenes when she finally got into the group, it got accepted. It was just, it's too much. And now she's going to bring that energy to the Valley.
Going against Ariana is suffering, and it's good to see.
Every tongue that rises against her will fall. Like, and we see it in live action because it's not just me, it's just people who are just watching the Valley for, like, just watching the show in general, even if they aren't Vanderpump Rules fans. They're like, we don't want this girl on here. Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah. Who's your favorite on the Valley?
Okay, so I was about to say, the Valley brings me no joy. It makes me uncomfortable. I have to be on my phone the whole time. Like, because the reason I brought it up is because you mentioned something about kids. And to me, the Valley is like a life I've run away from. I don't want it. And I have amazing, and I lived in LA and my friends I was just at these kid birthday parties, and it's truly like, I like my friends' families. But it like makes me feel uncomfortable watching these people. It's my nightmare going through a divorce and custody and back and forth having a kid. Like your husband telling you like, we're moving to Santa Clarita. I can't. It's really.
And he's the nice one. And
yeah, but he's not. He's undercover, like evangelical backwards. You know, he doesn't think about her. Like I didn't know this, but my friend comes from that world, and she was like, I know them. They probably go to these.
She clocked him immediately.
Immediately, she always does. She's like, I know this. Like, she just clocks this kind of regressive. I'm the boss of everything, and like.
That's insane because he's like 5'1", and I'm like, I know this guy from iCarly. Like you were on iCarly. You were literally on iCarly. That's why.
But I like Jesse divorcing. I like it. Like I like the chaos in terms of him being like. That when they asked him in his confessional, did you do this to piss her off? And he goes, yeah, absolutely. I was like, okay, I could watch this. Watching him and Kristen be like, let's fucking make television. That's what I mean. We need people to keep it moving. And that's why Janet is failing, because she's not moving on, but she's also not fighting. And so it's like, what are you doing? Just bow down to Kristen. Let's get shit going. Or fight her. But you're not doing
stand on it.
So, yeah.
Janet is, he's something.
She is the nicest husband, I think, though, in terms of, like, if I had to have a husband on that show, I think it would be Janet's husband.
It's so hard to pick because it's slim pickings. I know it wouldn't be Jax because I know that a lot of people don't want to, like, talk about it or say it straight up, but I think something more than, like, throwing a coffee table and hitting Brittany absolutely happened. and we're
Absolutely. And all his friends are at least calling him out, but he is still the same Jack's going, what man wouldn't do that? Like, and still justifying his abusive actions. You made your partner scared. I don't know, even if you flipped a table at them and your kids, you're a fucking cokehead. I don't know. Get your shit together. But you know
loved
what?
his announcement. Loved his announcement, by the way, though, when he was like, "You guys,
We've
I
been here though. We've been here every reunion. He's a changed man. He's gonna grow. He tried to apologize for being abusive to his wife, and then immediately within the same episode said, "Who wouldn't act like that?" That's what I mean. Watching the
insane."
show is my nightmare. It's like so hard. It's not as enjoyable as the other shows. I'm sitting there being like, "Ugh, Orange County, moving, school schedule. This is a life I can't
It's
imagine."
too adult. Like, imagine if you literally were living up basically like, well, we have Jasmine and her fiance, so I'm like, okay, and then we
Yes.
got Zach's wig has been pushed back, so I'm like, okay, thank God. So I'm like, okay, finally, like not so heteronormative, like settle down lifestyle kind of thing. But I would definitely hate that. I guess it would be if I had to choose a terrible husband, it wouldn't be Jesse because he literally admitted that he wanted to start that that argument about the kid's school just to get under Michelle's skin. But I just found out that like apparently like she was fucking Quentin Tarantino. So I'm like, oh, that must be why.
She has darkness. I'm sorry. She to me is I have friends who call it shark eyes. There's there's no soul. She's just looking to what's in it. I think she had this guy. I don't like Jesse is bad. I think they're both bad. And for me to side with a man, that's tough.
Hate
That means
that.
you've made it
Yeah.
really for me because I really don't want to ever side with a man.
That's the thing. Yeah, just like you said, it would be Janet's husband. That's the only thing that's redeemable about Janet is her husband and her cute little baby, honestly. But it's just
He's
like, girl,
just the
you gotta
most normal. He's the most normal. I'm sure he's sitting there being like, "What is happening?"
hate to say it too that Luke isn't all that bad. Like Kristen's man isn't all that bad just
Yeah,
yet, at least.
they're good for each other, but I don't know. Is he fishing in Colorado? Is he living in LA? And
That's
I
what
don't
I want to
know.
know.
I'm not a woodsy girl, so it's hard for. I'm not like,
But could you
fishing.
imagine Kristen Doty in the woods raising a baby? Like, no, she wants to be wherever the headquarters of like People Magazine is, like getting those fucking
Yeah. And
Instagram
she's doing
checks.
good. The idea, like, the show is a job. So it's like, no,
Right.
Vegas, we're living it here in the valley, you know?
Also, he is. I think that he's what 34 now, so she's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna make the decisions.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of like gets on her about how she likes younger men, but look at Jax. This man is 44, 45, and we're still doing the same things that we were doing when you got on TV at 30. So,
Well, Kristen's journey has been unfair this whole time because Lisa Vanderpump let all those boys misbehave, and then Kristen calls the manager a bitch once and is banned for life. Like Vanderpump's a bitch against Kristen, I think.
oh yeah, everyone saw it. Everyone has literally
Even
called LVP
recently,
out.
Lisa was mean, being like,
Yeah, she
"Oh,
was
does
like,
she even
oh,
know who
she
the dad
has.
is?"
Like what? What are you even talking about? Like stop! And then you're trying to bring like a new Vanderpump Rules on. Mind you, I'm like, okay, I just see all white women. Like, what are we doing here? While we have Southern Hospitality, which is literally on its third season, I know a lot of people have not, watched it yet, but I would say if you're wanting to scratch that Vanderpump itch, these kids are great. And guess what? Some of them are not straight. Some of them are straight. Some of them are black. Some of them are white. Some of them are both. Like, it really represents. And mind you, this is a place in the South where you would think everything would be all white instead of like WeHo, where it should be like a culmination of what like America really looks like. It's just like when New York was just like all white women, I'm like, this is not the New York that I know. It's very weird.
Oh my God, I just got inside scoop. I met someone that lived across the street from Alex McCord, and they told me that she didn't live in the whole townhouse. Like, there were families that lived in the other units.
Tea? Oh my
Yeah.
God. What
Allegedly, just in case. I don't want to get
Yeah,
sued
no,
in
everything I say is
court.
alleged. No, these people know that even I'm alleged. Like, just in case something happens. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't hear it here, but you heard it here if it blows up. That's wild. That is definitely, because I thought it was, like, that was like her whole spiel.
Well, that's what
Like,
they tried to do, but I think they knew they found gold and they had to run with it. They had to.
that
But
makes
like the
sense.
only with Vanderpump, it's like what I did like is they were all real relationships,
Right.
and that's hard to recreate. And people can try and try bring new people in.
Hmm.
We don't care. There was like a solid, pre-show bond, and that's what we get at Southern Hospitality. They're
Hmm.
young, they're drunk, they're cheating, they're volatile emotionally, and they want to party. Like they
Right.
really drink.
Hmm.
They really party. But I'm loving Southern Hospitality. It gave me, like you said, all the Vanderpump energy I needed.
Perfect. I'm so glad that the people can hear another person like what because I had Rachel Lindsay on and she was like, I'm trying to get through it, but I'm not connecting with them. I felt that way first season, won't lie. I was like, I don't really care about this. And
Well, I knew about Joe Bradley through the Luann, so I and like dating Danielle from Summer House,
yes.
so I was
Yes.
interested in knowing more about him.
Yes.
And I used to go clubbing in a very brief period in my like late teens. And I also was a server, so I think I like all of that.
Yeah, it's really grounded and they're not even really trying. Well, now they are, but like when we started Vanderpump, they would always talk about like some shitty indie movie that they were in or auditioning for, and I thought that gave it like personality because of course they're in LA, so they want to be stars, but these people are like, I gotta fucking work tomorrow, like they are really in it, and that's what I love about some hospitality like so much.
Oh yeah, they want to be. He's like, this is my career. I'm like, you're no, it's not. Relax. But
Like you
anyway,
got
I'm
a
loving.
third season, babe. Like you're good. So okay, off of Bravo for a bit. Well, we're gonna get back to it because I'm gonna ask you, how do you even like just being like a stand-up comedian in general? Like you have to have a certain amount of like no, not even. You just have to have thick skin in general. Like
Yeah.
when did you figure out that it's like you know what? Not only am I funny, but I'm gonna go tell these jokes for money, and I'm not gonna give a fuck if I fail, if I flop, if I literally like fly, and you literally made such a great career out of it. Like, how did you even stumble upon it? Or was that always the goal for you? Or were you acting first? Or
No, I
what?
didn't know it was a job, right? Like I had watched like Ellen DeGeneres' HBO specials. I loved Kings of Comedy, and then I saw Dave Attell my freshman year of college. But like I don't know. It just never occurred to me that it's a thing.
Yeah.
And then, but I always chatted. I did theater every like semester in high school. My parents and I loved the movies. I love television. Like, you know, we went to the movies every Friday. We love showbiz. We watch the Oscars. We love Us
Showbiz,
Weekly.
baby.
Yeah, like we were
Yeah.
Hollywood people. We went to the Oprah show once. Like we were involved, and so as a family. And so, but I didn't think about it. It was an outside dream, and I was like going from college to college, and then Superbad came out, and I was like, I'm gonna write a girl movie like this. Like, I want to write Superbad. And then I signed up for Second City classes, and then someone invited me to an open mic. And then once I found stand up, I was like, oh, I don't want to be doing improv or second. Like, I want to be doing this in bars and at night and like drinking and talking shit. And so I found my people, and then I just started in Chicago, and like I loved it, but I was still in college and I wanted to do it, but I didn't. Then I started watching older comedians and like understanding how things work and learning lessons, but it wasn't a calculated thing. And then I just kept getting better and getting cool jobs. And yeah, and that was it. And I never wanted to stop. And I'm a corny person, and it is about the journey. I just like love doing it so much. So in terms of like when people would say awful things or heckle or like any kind of booing or cutting the mic or like any of that, I knew was part of the process of
Mm.
being able to like learn how to handle yourself, get through those situations, control the room, like everything is experience. But I'm a human, so then sometimes it like sucks when you lose control or you don't do something right or someone does do something really mean. Like I've definitely cried at after shows. But I guess delusion. I don't know how else you keep going. It is crazy. But I've
No,
also
same.
had I just have a good time mostly. It's mostly good.
That's so
So
dope.
it's
Could you
okay.
like, okay, so if you would compare it to like acting,
Yeah.
would you? Because I'm friends with Ryan Bailey, and he's not what he wasn't an actor. He is an actor, but he's more into the podcasting world now. I
Okay.
always ask him, and like he loves it so much. But I always ask him, I'm like, okay, so if you were able to like get a show, like maybe like a CBS show or like one of those, not a show that only has like eight, episodes, and you can film for a little bit and go. If you had like a role on like the neighborhood, like you got to be in there all the time, compared to comedy, which one would you choose?
In the moment, well, I want to do stand up forever. Like I want to work forever. That's the goal, right? It's just like, so when people take breaks or like they get in their head, it's always like, well, if you want to do this forever, like who cares in a way? Um, it would be hard. I would still try to do comedy on the weekends, but I would take a fucking job. I would take a job like that. I would take a sitcom on a network. Absolutely. Yeah, because in my head, that's the goal to be a kooky best friend on a show. Because then, and I get to do it on Netflix, but it's like, it's just different than
Yeah,
network television. The money is insane. It's hopeful residuals, and then you can hopefully work forever. Like, yeah, being famous makes more people know you, and then hopefully you can, like, sell more tickets and be able to perform live in places forever. So I would take an acting gig for sure. I would take like a movie that's shot in Toronto for a year. Like I would definitely do anything like that because I know I could still do stand up on the weekends or at nights because if you're popular and cool and famous, you could pop in. That's the thing. So
absolutely.
once you're famous, you don't have, it's not like, fuck, I have a 950 and I'm going to miss it. Or, oh, I hope I get a spot this week. It's like, oh, I'm free. I can show up and they're going to be happy that I'm there and put me up, because everyone's a
Oh.
star fucker. So that's the whole thing. Like, if you're famous and rich, you can kind of like perform when you want. Or if you're really like, even not talking about like network television, but when I moved to New York, Hannibal Buress, like so successful, would have this
Yeah.
Sunday weekly show. And I always thought that was cool where it's like you don't have to promote, you don't have to try hard. People want to see you. You're Hannibal. And so like if you're at that level, you can just do what you can put shows together last minute and they'll fill up because people know who you are.
Would you ever do SNL?
I would love to host it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
hope
No.
one day in the future, I can host it. That's definitely like
I mean, you've
up
pretty
my
much been
dream goal.
everywhere lately, so I don't think that that's
Pushing it.
impossible.
Well,
Yeah. Exactly.
it's really hard. It is like kind of a pinnacle of success, I would say, to be able to host a show like that. But I don't think I would be hired on that show. But I
Who would
don't.
the musical guest be if you could host
What a good question. I've never
it?
even thought about that. I mean,
Because I feel like it's not far off from you
it's
because you've
very.
been
It would have
with.
to be something wild can happen. I can like book a part, it blows up, and then I'm doing it, or like,
Right.
but everything kind of is steady and slow, and like, but yeah, anything can happen, but it's not
No, because we've seen things. We've
just
seen
around.
people just like
Yeah,
blow, and it
yeah,
seems like they're out of nowhere. But if you track what they've done, no, they've been steady at this for years.
yeah,
They've always been there. They're just blowing down because it's their time.
yeah.
So I feel like for sure, like if Io can do it, like you can definitely
Io crushing
have
it.
that.
Yeah, Quinta, and they've been having like stand-up hosts, and a lot of people I don't really care for, but and I love a lot of the people on the show. They're talented in what they do. I'm like,
Mhm.
and I never turn down meetings or auditions or jobs,
Yeah.
unless I
So who
think,
would be your
unless
musical
they suck.
guest?
Oh yeah, Miley Cyrus for sure.
Oh yeah. Have you heard the new album?
Wait,
You're like she has a new album.
I thought it was just the single. I didn't realize
I
the
think
full
it is.
album
I think
dropped.
it. I think it. Hold on. Okay.
I'm such a bad fan,
Miley.
but yeah, Miley or Taylor. Oh god.
Ooh.
Miley or Taylor. That's
Oh,
always
yeah, no, okay, it's not yet. It's not out yet. But I'm like,
okay.
because I heard the single, and I'm like, oh, she has new album, but I need to finish because so many people have been releasing music lately and like going on tour, and I'm like, do you guys, girl, the terrorists, like, do you not see
But
where you
Miley
think of
doesn't
getting this
tour.
money? Yeah,
Miley doesn't really tour. She doesn't like touring, and she likes doing small shows at the Chateau. I think I want her to do the Sphere. Like that would make me really happy. But I've gone to SNL multiple times when it's Miley. That's when I'm asking for my favors. And I love her. But like Taylor Swift would be so cool, obviously, too. But
yeah.
I think, yeah, those would be my two.
Thoughts on Jimmy Fallon in general?
I don't really think I love the movie Fever Pitch a lot.
I love
And
Taxi.
okay, yeah, like why did his movie career not go? I loved his movies. I don't really know him at all. At all.
Yeah, no, just in general, because like I love Jimmy Fallon,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's where I find a lot of my new like favorite music people because he always gives people like a chance, and then I find like good comedians through Jimmy Fallon
Oh my
too.
God, yeah, I was
So
about to say I gotta get
that's
a clean set together. I gotta get a clean set together, but I love when my friends do stand up sets on there. Or like Hannah and Paige being on there was fun. Yeah, I'm into games.
yeah,
I guess that's what I would say about Jimmy Fallon. I love games. I think that's why I love and like Watch What Happens Live too. And Jimmy does
yeah.
play games.
So we got to talk about Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah.
Like, how did that even come about?
Well, that's always my goal. It's like all I've ever wanted, and so everyone knows that. And my manager made it happen, and we knew someone that worked there. And I think I've, like a special on Netflix is big enough, and it worked out. But it's mostly my manager, Brittany. I did hire PR, and then Rachel is the girl that works there, and she was the connect and made it happen. And so a
Could you believe
thrill.
it when you were there? Like, I'm finally on, like,
Well,
Watch What Happens Live. Or did it, like,
I
go too fast?
No, I could. Well, no, I'm really good at enjoying everything, and from morning to night, it was an amazing day,
Yeah.
and all about it. But like, when I got the call, it was in February. It was like but I didn't really tell a lot of people because I didn't think it was real. I'm like, they're gonna bump me, like they're gonna bump me. And then it was like, do you watch Summer? I kept getting messages from a manager like, wait, do you watch this show? Do you watch this show? What day? And I was like, because I've been in the audience twice and a bartender once, and it's never been Bravo people ever. And I wanted a Bravo person so bad. And so once
Yeah.
I found out it was Summer House night, I was like so excited. And then Wes was so nice and like DM me in the day and watch my special. And so like I just was pumped. And then one of my close friends flew in from LA. My best friends are here. We met up with my hair and makeup person. I soul cycled in the day. I met Leslie Bibb there. We talked Bravo. And like,
Insane.
so it was just kind of a fun day into night. And then I partied, but it does go by so fast. I obviously wish there were certain answers I said different or whatnot. But it was a dream. I feel like Andy laughed. Wes and he was shocked by a couple of it. I got to have my
Hmm.
opinions. Like, and Chef Eric from Top Chef was the bartender. So it was like, I couldn't believe that we got, and then Wes brought Jen Fessler with him. So that was crazy. So when we walked in, like me and my friends, we were like, I was like, I think that's Jen Fessler, and it was. Could not believe it. But they give you drinks, and everyone's nice that works there, and it was just like, like so fun.
What a vibe. So, obviously, this is a corny answer, but I mean, it's a question, but who is your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian is Dave Attell. I love him the most. And I love watching him at the Cellar. And I remember as a young comic going to see him anytime he was in town. And I love it. Like I went to all four of his shows, and all four of them were different. And like he's just in the moment and so many punchlines. And I just like I'm obsessed with him. So he's like my top. And then I love Ali Wong, and I love Kathy Griffin, and I love Mulaney. I like, and then sometimes I like people's specials, but not like all the stuff. You know what I mean? Like I love Bill Burr's Let It Go. I love Patrice O'Neill's Elephant in the Room. But yeah, and then I like my contemporaries. Like I like the people that I come up with and perform with, and my friends, and like those are the people that probably make me laugh the most. People at the Cellar, and like all of us grinding it.
I know that there are like different places, like the Laugh Factory, and like all these different places that are like staples to like the comedy community. So what? How do you? How would you? Okay, so an upcoming comedian, how do you get into places like this, like the Cellar, the Laugh Factory? Like I know that they have like chocolate Sundays. I think it's on Sundays, and I love seeing that online. But if for advice, obviously, for like an upcoming comedian, how do you even get to like these
Well,
famous
it's like
places?
different now, right? Because of the internet and clips and that culture, right? So I started in
Yeah,
2009. So it's definitely like, I don't know if it all tracks, but you just have to do it. So to me, it was like doing open mics, and then you just keep doing open mics, and then you get the showcase at Zany's, and then you get to host, and then you get to feature. And like, me and my friends in Chicago, we would drive 3.5 hours to do 5 minutes at the club in Madison, Wisconsin, just to be able to be seen there, to one day work there. I remember driving like hours. We were like, we're going to get $50 to 15 minutes. So it's like, I would do open mics every day. I would drive hours. My friends and I would apply to festivals and like take road trips so we could perform in New York. And so it was like doing it. And then eventually, hopefully, you get to do the shows, and then cooler shows, and then auditions. And then like people will recommend you. And then the Just for Laughs Festival has a new faces. And there's like another Netflix festival up and rising. But the industry now is different because you can pop without it.
yeah,
You can also pop without being experienced. You can have like a clip 2 years in and then suddenly be selling out venues, which was less likely to happen back in the day, I would say. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
have
for
you have to like
sure.
work like a decade or like something popped or you booked something, but there was more like yeah, we all just did it. Like we were just constantly doing it. And then they built a
Just
Laugh
do it.
Factory in Chicago. And then when we would do our trips to New York, it was like going on Facebook invites or Facebook flyers of shows and then DMing anyone you found that would host the shows, and just like sending tapes that you would make and hope to get booked
Oh,
on shows. And like and then one person sees you and is like, oh, I work here, like stop by, you'll get the check spot. And then you perform when people are passing the check. So it's just like um, just doing whatever you can. Like I would perform at nursing homes in the day and bomb, like just do it.
just
And then
working out some
hopefully
material.
you get to like perform in Cooler and Cooler. You get a manager, an agent, or like a bigger comic likes you and has you open and then recommends you for something. And so it's like that. It was, yeah, I guess like that. And then with the Cellar, it's an audition, and with the store, it's like auditioning, but they have to know about you. You have to get a recommendation, and I had a really good one. And
Ooh.
so I only needed him, and I got my audition at the Cellar.
Who is someone that you've made laugh that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe like this person laughing at my jokes?
Ooh, interesting. Because, Keith Robinson is someone that I like to make laugh at the table. So if
Mm-hmm.
I can make him laugh while we're all hanging out, I feel really proud of myself. We're not proud. Like, I just want to make him laugh.
No, yeah, exactly.
And I want to be funny in the moment and, like, be mean and cool. So I guess Keith Robinson's the person at the table. And then these are such good questions. And then when I'm performing, I would say I like hearing a friend laugh, or a familiar laugh, or like honestly the servers. If like the servers like me, that because they hear everybody. And they hear all of
Oh,
us
that
a
does
lot
make
and a lot and
sense.
a lot. And so like when I film my Netflix special at the Cellar, like a bunch of the servers from Gotham Comedy Club took the night off to come watch me tape my special. And like that to me means a lot because they see everybody.
So then, what was your before? Because you've had, different parts and different projects, and then you've had obviously different specials before. But so was the Netflix special the recent one, like your I made it moment, or was it landing, season one of Survival Other Things? What was your like? Oh shit! Like I made it moment.
My having an hour on Netflix means a lot to me, but I always feel like when I realized there was like a day where there was a week where I was gonna be in LA and New York. And you send your avails to the bookers of like the Comedy Store and Cellar weekly on certain days. You like send your stuff in. And
Mm-hmm.
in the same day, I got my spots for my LA and New York days at like the two clubs that are the best. And like, that's where you want to be. And so I felt like, oh, I'm like a cool girl. I get to perform
Exactly.
at the Cellar and the Store. So like, that was huge. And then controversial, but I was in Horace and Pete, which was Louis C.K.'s show on, he was doing it online, his experimental era, pre it all. And I had lines with Jessica Lange, Alan Alda, Steve Buscemi. I was like fucking acting with the best of the best legends in our business, sitting next to Stephen Wright. Like,
Steve Buscemi.
yeah, like
It's
me and him like
crazy.
chatting in between sets. Like
How
we
is he?
celebrated Alan
Like,
Alda's birthday on set. Edie Falco's in the makeup chair next to me. Like that to me was like holy fucking shit. Like I
yeah, I
really
would have
liked that.
freaked out. Because for a long time, I literally thought, and I wrote this when I was like a writer I was doing social media, but I also wrote. I thought that Steve Buscemi was like Adam Sandler's dad growing up because for some reason, like he would be in every single Adam Sandler movie, and I'm like, obviously, this is because of his dad. So then, like, I grew up, and then I was like casually mentioning, like, oh, you mean Adam Sandler's dad? Yeah, he's in that movie, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've never heard that. Upset.
And then I'm like, the guy from Big Daddy, like the guy from, he's his dad. But like that's just kind of how he is. He has, his homeboys that he puts in all of his projects. But for some reason, I just thought that it was his dad, and when I found out it wasn't, my
Yeah.
whole world turned upside down. But like Steve Buscemi, wow, what a legend.
Yeah.
So okay, so if you're obviously like on one right now,
Yeah, I
where do
feel
you
on
see
one.
yourself? Yeah, where do you see yourself like going from here?
Best case scenario, just doing what I'm doing, like being able to do stand up and then hopefully in like bigger venues, but being able to perform for people that want to see me. I've spent over a decade performing for whoever will show up to the club on a Friday. So it's it's like nice seeing more people that like are there intentionally versus free tickets so the club can sell burgers. So grateful to all those years. So yeah, doing stand up and then booking good parts. Like I want to be acting and then hopefully I'm like developing a show, but that all takes years. It takes
That's so dope.
so long to make stuff, but I really would love to have a show on the air that's scripted that I like help create and I'm in it.
Cast me as the sassy black friend, so
Okay.
I'll be there. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's like that would be a good life. And then make sure to balance with vacations and dinners and like have a life,
uh,
like not become a freak. Like I don't need to be Kevin Hart. Like I don't need to work that hard. Um you have to work hard. I do work hard. I do a lot, but
yeah, I'm like
I
you're
don't
always posting like you have a show literally like tonight, like you have a show
I
in like
know.
5 minutes.
I always say that. I just don't see people. I'm like, no, I want to be able to nap or take a day in between, hit up an art museum. Like, I just want to always remember to have balance, even in times of like work success.
So some cunty questions, and I always find
Yeah.
that like comedians like will just answer them without even like
Well, I used to be wilder, and I still am, but like Tina Fey was on Las Culturistas. I don't know if you know that pod, and she said authenticity is dangerous and expensive, and that's something that sometimes now I think about, but it's hard. Like I want to say what I
who's
want. I don't want to be
who's the
fake.
most terrible male comedian that you've met? A big name, and I'm just saying male because woman power, but I know there's a lot of cunty women out there.
I
But
would say I hate Andrew Schultz the most, and now the world is, but I've been fighting him for like a decade.
love
all
that.
the all the men that are like incel Nazi right wing maniac Republicans right now, I fought them in 2013, 2012,
So you've
2016.
seen this
I've been a
coming this
feminist
whole
since I
time.
was a child. Oh, I have friends unfortunately have been like, "Damn, we thought you were going crazy." And I go, "No, I don't know." Like I don't know. I don't know. I love being right, but this is a nightmare. But I hated all these motherfuckers. I hate having to be nice to people that don't see women as people, who are unable to see outside of themselves, their experience, their definition of shit. Like feel entitled to stuff, yet feel persecuted and not getting it. So it's like we're not getting stuff, but they think it's theirs to have. So it's like denying entitlement and but being mad when you don't get. Like I've had to deal with all of them bringing up fucked up debates on a fun Friday night. Like these motherfuckers do not respect women. I knew it forever, and I ran into a girl from high school in Arizona, and she was in the audience of my show, and we hung out after, and she goes, "You always spoke your mind." She's like, "I'm actually not surprised you do this." She's like, "You were always talking shit." And I've never been in a physical fight, and I don't know if I would win for the amount of shit I talk, but I'm not scared, and I don't know. I don't care how rich or famous you are, but they don't care about me, but I hate all of them.
No,
and I guess Theo Vaughn
perfect.
too. Fuck you. Anyone that was at the inauguration, fuck you. Like, all of, but I want to say that I was fighting them way before.
First. Yeah.
Because I met a friend in LA once who was a comic at the Comedy Store, and we would hang out for months, and he finally went, "Yeah, I thought you'd be such a, like, bitch the way, like, you argue with these guys, but you've been such a pleasure to be around." And I go, "Well, I don't sense that you don't see me as a full human. So I'm able to enjoy myself with you." But, like, yeah, I'm sure I'm fucking mean to other people, and I'm okay with it. And they've all ended up being giant disappointments, all of them.
Perfect. Okay, so fire two people. Fire two people in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh my God, this is so good. Well, can we bring Garcelle back? I would find,
Yeah. That was going to be the second.
Bring Garcelle back, kick Dorit out, and Sutton out. Well, I guess she'll need Sutton, but Sutton's fake. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
think.
she's cool on Sutton. Sutton was like, "Well, she still follows my business accounts," and Garcelle was like, "Want to see?" And she unfollowed her business accounts. And I'm like, my queen.
That bitch thought that she was gonna be like taking a photo with the rest of them, making her way, and then they were gonna have supper together.
Supper. Not dinner, but supper. After she dealt with your racist mama and you couldn't say shit for her, like, please, bitch.
After you had to bring up Erica and that final stuff, it really bothers me that people don't even. Kyle, we've gotten it a lot worse, and it's like, all of you fucking suck. You suck.
Yeah,
she owes you
you're
nothing.
known as the Fox Force 5.
And Dorit saying something about professional or unprofessional. Do you work? How dare you? Fuck you.
Exactly.
And when it's time to work, it seems like you're late a lot. So shut up. I don't know.
Insane.
Who would I get rid of? Let's say Garcelle's gone. I don't think she wants to be there. She's on to bigger and better. But
yeah, she's done. I'm saying fire two people that are on there right now. So you said Sutton and Dorit, but if Garcelle comes back, I feel like Sutton was. I thought that I don't know. For some reason, I thought that Sutton
would be Kyle. The biggest shakeup would be like to get rid of Kyle, but I don't know.
But do you want to get rid of Kyle, or do you want to see her like have a season where she has to answer for her crimes?
She never will. Andy will never make her do that. The Hilton connection is too strong. Like, he really, like, loves rich people, popular, like, he has his favorites, and unfortunately, like...
But, okay, we're living in a world where Andy will. It's opposite.
Who's there? Erica giving
It's Erica, it's Kyle, it's Sutton, it's Dorit, it's Bose. Yeah, they're all...
I just want to show, let's do a buddy comedy. It's just Jennifer Tilly, like, playing poker. I'll watch that. No, I'm open to it. I don't know if we need a shake-up or bring who in or bring more Bose people in. Like, I would love Bill Burr's wife to get involved.
Me
I don't
too.
know. Like, I wish I had a better answer or an answer at all. I'm really flopping here, but I want Dorit out of my life. I'll say that much.
No, just say it. Like, she smokes one cigarette and thinks she's like the queen of America. It's like,
I feel sad for her. I love how it's like, how dare you talk about PK as a father? I'm like, you don't think that man's a bad dad? Like,
you literally just said it, though.
You think PK is giving anything off besides slimeball gross? Like, I don't get people that are like, my husband, the father of my children. I'm like, he's gross.
The father of your children who literally did not come but wrote a note about how he doesn't think that, the woman that he married would ever do this. He is your aunt, honey, and you just told us on this show.
I think he was involved in the thing. I'm with Garcelle there.
You're one of the 4 people? Okay,
yes.
So one of my friends is one of the 4 people. My mom is one of the... So there's more than 4 people. Like, I don't know where she got this figure from, but it's like, babe, you don't want us to start investigating, because one thing about the Bravo fan base is if something is fishy, we will find it, and your ass won't be getting shit from... Even if you stayed married 10 years, you won't be getting shit. You'll be getting some handcuffs, because someone from Beverly Hills needs to be arrested, since we're going around arresting people from every franchise.
Yeah, I don't buy it, and that's why I think he's so annoyed with her PTSD.
Yeah, because he's like, PTSD,
I think he
babe,
wants
I told
to be
you.
over it. I think he's like, move it along. Like, I don't think she was in on it, but I think he's evil enough to do it. I don't trust that man.
Yeah, like...
He was a pervert, looked up Erica's skirt, laughing at Garcelle's son. Go fuck yourself. I have to see the goodness in him for what? And Kyle is a low-down bitch. Like, you're texting your friend's ex-husband and lying to everyone, then screaming instead of admitting you did something wrong. Like, that's what I mean. None of them are up front or open with their stuff. They all crumble. They all run off. They all cry. It's like one storyline will take 6 episodes. I mean, grateful to have the show, but
of course,
it is what it is. It's like
talking.
Lucy Apple Juice was like 9 fucking episodes. But Garcelle has to get over immediately what they said to her sons. Okay.
I feel like I'm living in an opposite world when I watch this show, because I'm just like...
And in the comments, that's what happens. It's like not only the show, but then you go into the comments of like a lot of these Bravo accounts, and it's like so
I try to stay away from them.
I know.
That's why I like built this. I'm just like, let me take all of the queer people, all of the people of color, all of the Black people, and we can come over here and actually talk about what's going on. And you guys can go somewhere else. But some of them forget, and I think because they see Bravo in the headline, that they think that I'm going to like agree with them. I'm like, hey, wrong. Hey, it's Bravo while Black. Yeah. So I think you guys should know. Okay, so you don't watch Southern Charm?
I do. So I had to watch it to watch Winter House. My friend made me. And then, I don't know. I watched it for the first time this year. I'm like fresh on it. So this year, last year, I watched it all. I denied it for a long time. I don't love the populate. Like, I'm like, I wasn't into it. And then it's mess. I mean, it is like,
I just want to ask you
money, young pregnancy. It's so
dark. It was
real,
dark from the beginning
in a big way, but creepy energy.
Tell me, what do you think about the whole Craig versus Paige situation?
I mean, you must know how I feel.
Yeah, I know how you feel, but I want to hear you roast him. That's really why I asked you.
It's like, you're a loser. We've watched you a lot. You're also not from there. Like, for you to come from Delaware and be like...
He's like from Delaware. Like,
attach yourself to the grossest group you could is like, okay. But you didn't, like, Paige has been covering for him. He did get kicked out of Amanda's wedding. He does have rage issues. They are all scared of him. He can't share a room. Like, I would never be friends with someone that acted like that on vacation. Started screaming that they can't share a room on this trip. Like, I don't like it. I love that he's talking about being sober and being an alcoholic while drinking a beer and clearly wasted. Like, what is going on? It's just like not honest. And I think he could have just shut shit down about the breakup, but he wanted the attention.
And then to turn up with a girlfriend literally a few days later.
Yeah, but this is Carl too. Like, I can't. Oh, they're so mean. And then they all have girls already ready to date, ready to flirt. Like, it's frustrating. But you know what? It's what happened with Ariana and the rest of Vanderpump people. It's like, we'll see Paige's star rise.
Oh,
and
we're seeing it right now.
See what happens with Craig.
I've never prayed on a downfall more, and when I found out that he blocked me, I literally looked.
He blocked you?
Yeah, it was a beautiful day. Like, I went outside, and like someone had tagged him in something, and I'm like, why is it not?
The two people
showing
from
up.
Bravo that blocked me ended up
Tell me.
being violent. Mike from Shaws of Sunset. 'Cause
Oh,
he's
the
such
woman
a
abuser.
misogynist. Yeah, so he blocked me, and I was right. Woman abuser. And then the chef from Top Chef, he was in DC.
Oh.
Mike something, who was like mean to Antonia and like yelling. I think it was the Jen Carroll, whatever. He ended up being Me Too'd and his restaurant shutting down. So those are the two people who have blocked me on Bravo.
Every tongue that rises against us will fall.
It's just this thing of like, I could just tell when a man does not see me as a person. I don't know. It's just like, you're around these guys long enough and people, you're just like, yeah, you don't even need to do something. I know who you are. I know, I see it. Stop making this girl convert and marry you. The regressive language, all that shit. But it's in. I am scared. Like, Southern Charm is in. Like, Craig's going to be, like, in charge of everything. I'm sure he's going to have a position in the cabinet.
A trad wife. He's, just buckling down these next 4 years, getting money, making jokes, and literally bringing joy. Like, let's just end this not on...
Yeah, positive.
Yeah, let's end this on a positive note.
Well, I'm excited for Miami. Like, give me Miami. I really love watching that. And I mean,
but also like what you have coming up. Like, I know you have some stops. Like, I know you have a podcast. I know you have some stops. I know you're an actress, so you probably have something cooking there. Like, what can you tell me that you haven't told?
These are all like sides. These are all sides of things I haven't gotten. But I'm out here.
Exactly.
Auditioning. That's so funny. I did that. They're all like, "Do not post." But I didn't get any of them. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, that's messed up. An SVU podcast. We recap an episode of SVU, and then we talk about the true crime it's based on, and then we have an actor from the show on, usually.
Wild.
And then during the strike, we couldn't do that, and so some episodes don't have guests, and now, like, we're more flexible with it, but we have a lot of guests. And I'm on the road, so I'm going to be in Charlotte, Atlanta, New Orleans, other places, Rhode Island.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm on the road. Australia, New Zealand.
What, you're going over? Like, have you been there already though?
I've been to Australia twice to do comedy festivals, but this will be my first like tour in Australia, and I've never been to New Zealand, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh my god, that should be so fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. But the darkness always comes because I'm like, but I'm so nervous to go in and out of the country. But I'm really excited for everything.
You're not gonna let me back.
My special's on Netflix. I'm out and about, and I'm doing every fucking podcast known to man. So, but this was so fun. Your questions are incredible. I had the time of my life. So thank you for making this work. I'm so happy.
Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for coming on. I know exactly who you are now.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Just the most thoughtful, good questions. I'm like, I can't even believe it. How fun this was. I mean, I can, but no one's ever asked if you hosted SNL, who'd be your musical guest. Like, that's going to be a thing I asked my friends tonight. Like, that's such a good question.
I'm very nosy. That's the thing about me. I'm a nosy and I'm a yapper. So thank you for coming to the pod. Make sure you guys, I'm going to link below the dates, the freaking specials, all of the good stuff if you're watching the YouTube video. But if you are listening on Spotify, rate this 5 stars. If you're listening on Apple, rate this 5 stars, and make sure you follow both of our pods, which I'm going to link below, and definitely support my friend here. And thank you for coming, and thank you guys for listening. I will be back on whatever day I feel like coming back. I promise y'all a solo episode, so I'm gonna come back solo, probably to talk about the second episode of The Valley and tell you my theories there. Yes, okay. I'll be back then. If not, you will get an episode on Saturday. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.